Hey everyone, Camila Gornia here, founder of Heart Behind Hustle, and welcome back to my YouTube channel where we talk about entrepreneurship. And I'm really excited to talk about Facebook marketing and specifically what to post on Facebook, because Facebook is still a very, very popular channel. You know, for a lot of the people that are in our tribe, our clients, our students, they use Facebook every single day in order to find clients. It's no surprise. Facebook is still one of the top social media platforms. It is the top social media platform, regardless of what changes they do, regardless of what algorithm shifts they make. Facebook is still king. So how can you make sure that when you're creating content, it is something that is actually compelling and people actually want to engage with it? And before we dig into that, I want to share with you that I actually have this entire blog post written where I share with you 25 things you can do today to boost your engagement and interaction on Facebook. So it goes way beyond just what to post. There's a lot of different things you can do to boost your engagement. So if that's something that you want to create in your business when it comes to your Facebook marketing, make sure that you go right here and you're going to be able to go to that blog post, read it. If you like it, let me know. Now, another thing I want to tell you is at the end of this video, I'm going to share with you a really awesome resource guide that I created that basically walks through a couple of different things that you can post on Facebook to boost your engagement and get more traction when it comes to your business. So this goes beyond the 5 things that I'm going to share with you today. So really, really exciting. I think it's going to be very helpful for you, and think about your business and your marketing in a different way. So stay until the end of the video when that pops up. Okay, so let's talk about getting Facebook engagement. Particularly, what do you actually post on Facebook? Because there's so many things you could possibly post, especially when you're thinking about your business, right? And you might be thinking, okay, maybe I need to be posting inspirational quotes, or maybe I need to be, doing videos 24/7. But even still, what do I actually say? What do I actually post so that people care? And that is such a common question. So there's actually 5 different types of posts you can create. I mean, there's many, many more, but there's actually 5 specific posts that you can make on Facebook that tend to get a lot more interaction than others. Now, before I dive into that, something I want to mention is that Facebook specifically has said that they're looking and they're actually optimizing the newsfeed to generate the best, most authentic, most connected, and most positive interactions for people. So if your strategy has been to go on the negative most of the time and you're not seeing the traction that you may be used to, well, that's exactly why. Facebook wants the entire newsfeed experience to be as positive, as uplifting as possible. So let's keep that in mind. If that's what Facebook is doing, let's make sure that we stay within what they're looking for, so we tip the scale in our favor. Sounds good? All right, so let's get into those 5 different types of posts you can create on Facebook to generate more attraction, more relevancy, and creating that amazing connection with your audience that you desire. First post is the personal story. So as human beings, we are so connected to stories, and there's many different types of stories you can share when it comes to your personal life or your business, but stories absolutely sell. If you've been around the online industry a little bit, then you might notice that people are talking about stories more and more, and it's because the typical internet marketing things just don't tend to work quite as well as they used to, and it's because people are so smart. We are so savvy as consumers that we're not going to just fall for some random, super persuasive post that doesn't really connect with right here, right? Which is great because we're Heart Behind Hustle and we focus on being authentic and being real with our audience. So being able to share a personal story can be really impactful for you when it comes to connecting with your audience. What do you actually talk about? I mean, there's so many different stories you can create. You can talk about your own personal story of starting your business. You can talk about a specific story as it relates to a campaign or a product. You can share about your story of struggle and how you were able to overcome that struggle. I mean, there's many different types of stories you can share. And if this is something that you want me to dig into a little bit more, I'll talk more about that in future videos in terms of what stories you can share in your business. But the personal story can be extremely effective. People are going to connect with you in a deeper way. And when you're able to share a lesson or a nugget or a piece of wisdom in there based on your experience, that's just going to be so much better. So make sure that when you're sharing your personal story, you're not just like complaining about like, oh my gosh, like here's my personal story, my life sucks. Like no one's gonna be excited about that. They're just gonna look at you and be like, oh my God, that's I'm sorry? Like, you don't want that to happen, right? You want people to feel excited and empowered and enrolled in your vision and who you are as an entrepreneur, as a coach, as an expert. Keep it positive. Even if it's a, negative story in the beginning, just find a way to twist it so there's a lesson or there's something that you can share with people that will actually make them feel like, okay, I got some value out of this. So it's not just like, here's the Camila show. It's more like, here's the Camila show and here's how you can get value out of this experience, out of this story that I want to share. Number 2 is the behind the scenes. So behind the scenes, I am such a huge fan of, and a lot of people tend to use other platforms for behind the scenes like Instagram, especially me, but Facebook can also be extremely effective. And the reason why is because Facebook is very text-based as well. I mean, there's videos, there's images, but there's also text. So you are able to, first of all, you can survey your people. So you can actually ask, what do they want from you? What are they interested in? And you can tell them that, hey, audience, I am thinking about creating X, Y, and Z products. Now, in order for me to create that and make it the best for you, what does it need to include? I mean, yeah, you can totally ask that on Instagram if you have a decent following, but Facebook, I find, is just so much more engaged to those types of responses, at least in my experience. Additionally, people love to see what's going on for you behind the scenes. They obviously love seeing the front end of your business, your website and your product and your launches and stuff. Like, yeah, people like that too, especially when it's nicely organized. But at the same time, they want to know what goes into building that awesome thing that they end up seeing, right? If you're going through a rebranding process, for example, show people what's going on. Maybe you're going to your photo shoot. Take some photos and share that with your audience. Maybe you're about to go live. Share with your audience what happened for you to come up with this topic, or maybe you're going to an event or you're planning an event. People want to see what goes on behind the scenes. That's how they connect with you as a human being, heart to heart, human to human. That is so, so powerful. So that's the second type of post, the behind the scenes. Number 3 is the polarizing insight. So the polarizing insight is something you probably have seen on Facebook quite a bit, but these are the types of posts that are polarizing. These are the posts that are tending to ruffle some feathers from people that might not necessarily agree with that point of view. So they're very opinionated, they focus on a specific point of view, and they're pretty strong, and sometimes they're triggering for people. The good thing about doing a polarizing post, especially if they are very much aligned with your values, I don't recommend that you go creating lots of polarizing content just for the sake of polarization. But if it is something that's aligned with your vision, your values in your business, why not, right? This is going to be really great because you're going to basically make it very clear to the people that aren't a good fit to work with you to carry on their way. And the people that are a good fit and they love what you have to say, they're gonna want to stick around and they're going to love you even more because there's that emotion in there. Polarizing insight is basically the type of post that evokes a lot of reactions from people, a lot of emotion. You might be pointing out something that's going on in the world right now. Maybe it's political, maybe it's, economical, maybe it's social, maybe it's something else. It could be something that has to do with an issue. It could be something that is news related. It could be something that's even pop culture related, and you're just commenting on it in a way that isn't just, everybody's gonna agree with this, but more so like, here's what I believe, gosh darn it. And then people are going to rally behind you or against you, but they'll probably just leave sooner rather than that. So this will make it really easy, and people are going to, be not in the lukewarm area, which isn't a buyer. This isn't a buyer space. They're gonna either go into the, I'm not a fan, or yes, oh my gosh, I love her, which is great. The fourth type of post is the value bomb. I love these, and these are actually really easy for the course creators that are watching to create because you guys love teaching. I love teaching as well. It's so fun for me to be able to share things that I know based on my experience or what I've learned. And if you're the same, then you're going to love the value bomb. This is where you basically get to share great value with your people. This can be educational, informational, and you can still have a little bit of entertainment in there. But basically the big concept here is that you're sharing information with people. You're sharing something that's extremely valuable. And the cool thing about using it on Facebook is that you get to actually test a lot of your ideas. So if you're trying to formulate a theory about something, you could actually put it out there and see if people are resonated with this specific type of theory or strategy that you've created. Or maybe you've noticed something going on when it comes to your launches or campaigns. You can actually talk about that on Facebook and make a very clear indication that, based on your research, you found this. And it doesn't have to be a huge thing like a blog post or email. It could be a fairly short and sweet and to the point insight that you learned based on your own experience. Or it could be something else. Maybe it's just you're getting a lot of questions from people, from your audience, from your clients, and maybe this is basically you answering questions based on the questions that you're actually getting. This can be extremely effective as well. Last but not least, and by the way, there are many other types of content you can create. We'll talk about how to get the entire list at the end of this video, but the last one that I want to share in this video is the inspiration. Now, inspiration can take many different forms. So for example, the inspiration could be a story of a client succeeding at something, and you would actually want to share the progression of where they were before and where they are after. Another way that you can share inspiration is, again, going back into your story. So what is something inspiring that you have done? And again, the progression typically is going from the before to the after, right? So what does that progression look like? Also, something else that's quite easy is basically sharing quotables, right? So these are still inspiration because they're pretty easy for people to share them, but they don't really have a whole ton of context. They're not these epic posts that are super long. It's just something that, you just want to communicate with people. It's based on what you believe. So these can be just one sentence, it could be 2 sentences, but it's pretty snippy, but it basically communicates a piece of wisdom that you believe and you came up with. Sometimes people will basically take other people's posts or other people's quotes that are famous people and they'll share them on their feed, and that can be okay too. But I found the most effective to stand out as an actual authority that you are is to develop your own things that you believe in. What are the quotables that you would actually say? And it's not that hard to come up with them. I mean, you just have to ask yourself, like, whenever you're feeling triggered or whenever you're feeling like on fire, whatever you want to say to a client that's kind of snippy, write that down, because that could be a great piece of content that's easily shared because it's very short. It doesn't take up a whole lot of minutes to read it, and people will immediately, either be a heck yes or a heck no and will want to share with their audience as well, which is why this piece of content, this piece of post is also so effective on Facebook. So there you have it. These are the 5 different types of posts you can make on Facebook to get more engagement organically, which is awesome. So I'm really excited to hear which ones you're going to try, which ones you have already tried. So go ahead and leave a comment below and tell me which of these 5 different posts you are the most excited to try and which one are you committing to trying today. I'm so excited to hear your results. And if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure that you do so. You can sign up. There's a button. There's actually a button here, I think. So make sure that you sign up because we release new videos all the time talking about entrepreneurship, marketing, business, all the things that you probably want to know around growing your online-based business. So that's what I'm doing here. And lastly, I did tell you that I have a special gift for you. So this is outside of this awesome guide that I shared with you earlier with 25 things you can do today to grow your Facebook engagement. But I actually put together a guide that shares with you literally what can you post on Facebook. Lots of different ideas, lots of different concepts for you to play around with. Some of them you're going to resonate with, others you probably won't, and that's totally fine. But really the concept here is for you to be able to start thinking creatively about what can you post on Facebook to engage your audience and really get out of that writer's block or content block so you can just get out there, post the thing, and engage your audience and grow your business. So you can go ahead and click on somewhere, it's gonna be popping up, and that's that. I'm really excited to be able to support you with that, and thanks so much for watching. You are awesome, and I can't wait to share more videos with you coming very soon. So I will talk to you later. Bye.